Hello, guys, and welcome back to another Waffle and War with myself, Joe, Chris, and Azza.
Hey.
Hello.
Right, so interesting things. So, in I think 3 days' time is the Warhammerfest, and I've heard there is lots and lots of.
Which we're not going to.
No, we're not going to. There's lots and lots of reveals that are going to be happening there, so it should be fun times. I think they're going to
But
be.
is it really any different to going to Warhammer World?
Yes, apparently
Oh.
so.
In what way?
So, I mean, according to their website, they've got a tournament going on. There's some cosplay. There's some booth like painting booths and stuff. There's a hangout and paint. There's a the Golden Demon Award. There's a demo area, so you can have a demo at Warhammer 10th edition, I believe. There's a board
What?
cafe. There's Kill Team Live. There's food stalls. There's more food stalls. The Golden Throne Lounge, whatever that is, and a shop and big massive tournament area. So yeah, quite a lot is happening.
And I think you get freebies if you sign up to certain things.
Oh,
Okay, because I was going to say it doesn't sound that different to Warhammer World. You know, tournaments going on, gaming tables, place to get food, a shop to buy models. Have they got any like exclusive models? Is that like a thing that they do? Is this all blasphemy? Am I going to get a lot of hate coming my way?
I don't really know anything about Warhammer Fest. I've never really.
The
Yeah.
golden ticket thing, I think that's talked about quite a bit. Is that a painting competition?
The Golden Demon, yeah.
Right. I mean, obviously, I'd win that if I'd gone.
Oh, absolutely, of course.
Um,
So apparently their schedule is on Saturday. It's Warhammer 9 o'clock, starting from 9 o'clock, and then from noon. So it's starting from 9 o'clock in the morning. So for 3 hours, it's going to be 40k, I think, and then
right.
from noon, it just says noon. Warhammer Underworld, Warcry, and then Middle Earth, and then on Sunday from noon, it is Age of Sigmar, Horus Heresy, the Old World, so Warhammer the Old World. So I think is that the old fantasy stuff. I don't really know. And then
Yes. Yeah, it is, yeah.
ooh, I'd be interested in that. And then on Monday from noon, it is just Kill Team, which is still relevant to 40k because sometimes there is Kill Team exclusive models that we can still use. Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And I still think they're going to do something with Space Hulk, so like new Gene Stealers or something.
Yes, definitely. I
So do
I
you think
reckon.
they'll take the time to do some reveals on what models are coming up, that sort of stuff?
Yeah, this is exactly what it is. It's previews, so that they're revealing loads of new stuff. It's supposed to be massive in terms of releasing, and I'm surprised that nothing's been leaked yet. Which I'm also glad because I don't really like it when they leak stuff. I prefer just to find out on the day.
Well, they've kind of shown quite a lot of the models for 10th edition, but I presume they're going to show us the 10th edition box set, or the Indomitus equivalent.
Yes.
Right.
Oh God, yeah.
We were talking about that last night, weren't we?
We were. When do you think they're actually going to release that though? When do you think it will go into the shops? I can't remember with Indomiters.
I'm sure it went just before they released Indomitus, like on the release of 9th edition.
Yeah, as in what month though? Because
Oh.
they
Well,
announced
did you
it.
say June?
June's on the cards, yeah.
Oh.
But they're going to announce it this weekend, I would have thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've started putting some money in the savings account ready to drop.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure if we had like an announcement and then we had to wait like 3 to 6 months for all the new stuff to actually come out, or whether it was announced and you could buy it literally a few months later or a few weeks later.
They're normally pretty quick with announcement to pre-orders, aren't they? Like with the Lion, it was 2 weeks.
Was it? Oh, yeah.
We're gonna have to be quick because Indomitus was one of the best-selling box sets, wasn't it? And they printed loads and loads of copies and sold loads and loads of.
Didn't they do a pay for order one as well? So they released it and then they gave everybody the opportunity to do it again.
Yeah. They did it made to order, but they didn't make them for about 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
But still, even if you get the order in and then you get them, did they do that to stop people from monopolising on eBay? Because that's it was a bit of a dick move, if you remember.
Yeah.
Remember, people were getting loads of them and then they were just selling them at massively inflated prices.
Wow,
like the Lion.
I was going to say nature of the beast. That is just like the Lion. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, I'm sure what ended up happening was people were buying loads, and then because they released it as you could pay to order, it then meant that all these people had bought loads. It was all worthless for them.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Good.
Yeah, I hope they do that again.
I'm going to try and go with the same tactic as last time and using it from a third party website and going with somebody else. It worked really well because the website that I used had still got stuff available for a few hours after the Games Workshop sold out.
And we'll tell you which website that is after we've confirmed our orders.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what it is now. I'm not crazy. So, yeah, new stuff that's come out. New Tyranid model. It looks a bit bizarre. I don't know if you've seen the winged Tyranid Prime model.
Looks a bit timid to me.
I like it though because it's like he's a pterodactyl that's landed.
Yes, yeah. For me, it's the position of the arms, which a lot of people on the Tyranid Reddit server was saying, or Reddit, whatever group forum thing, they were saying the position of the arms don't look quite right. Like the wing should be on the top and the other bits, excuse me, should be underneath. So, don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a Tyranid player, so I can imagine when you've spent ages and ages and ages painting loads of Tyranids, you've got very attuned senses to how they should look. But someone that doesn't, it just looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it, but then yeah, I don't know. I'm
It'd
torn.
be easier to transport and hide behind buildings.
That is true. That is true. I was kind of expecting to have it high up in the air with its, with wings spread like in the trailer.
Yeah, but if he's what is he? The winged prime.
A winged. It's basically a. Sorry, it's raining here. It's. I don't know if you can hear it. If it's coming through, but it's raining on and off, and I'm in the conservatory. So, it's supposed to be a Tyranid warrior, but the winged variant of it, the winged Tyranid Prime, it's called. You can get
just
a prime
on his own, or is he like
just
part of the squad?
Just on his own.
But the prime is an HQ, isn't he?
Yes, yeah.
So you got warriors, but you can build one of them as an HQ, and he's
Yeah.
like the winged version of that.
Yeah, so you can build one of them as
Guessing they'll give out buffs and stuff then.
Wow, they're removing buffs, aren't they, and all that rubbish in 10th. But he's basically a Tyranid. He's a Tyranid Prime, but he's a winged version. Which Tyranid Prime is a warrior that you build as the HQ. But yeah, so
not be anywhere near as big as the Hive Tyrant.
Oh God, no! It's tiny compared to the Hive Tyrant, apparently.
Okay.
So somebody put up a picture of like the scale next to the scale of a warrior, and the scale of a space marine using the base size as a judgment.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So in 10th edition, you're gonna have the ability for a HQ to join a squad. So I imagine whatever ability. I don't know how they're gonna work with Tyranids because of the synapse ability, and yeah, I'm intrigued, like everybody else, intrigued to see what they do. Turned it completely upside down, really, in a good way.
Yeah. Well, the main thing I'm thinking of is the HQ buffs only attached to one unit.
Yeah.
So does that mean we're going to need loads of HQs?
Hope so. I like HQs.
Yeah. Or plan a bit better about what units synergize better with what.
Yeah.
Things.
And I reckon we're going to see the return of some craters for 10th edition.
Yeah, and they've just released some new bits of terrain as well, scatter terrain, and
yeah,
I think is it something to do with repairing vehicles or something? Did I see?
I'll find it on their website now.
With the new Gallo Dark terrain, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It said and it's like a little bit of information on the website. I'm sure today it said something about repairing vehicles that have been damaged or something.
Oh.
So, but I don't know whether that's. But they've got that inside the boarded actions terrain, so I wonder it may be specifically usable for that.
I haven't. So the only thing I've seen is patch up the wounded and abandoned ship with the new kill team terrain of the Gallo Force. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So is that saying that it can do something, or are they just saying?
I think it's just narrative.
Right. Okay.
Escape the Hulk.
I don't think you can have vehicles on the boarding actions thing. I think that's just troops, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
I don't know actually, because I've seen people post and say they can bring a special character or some special unit or something. So,
okay.
So
I don't know.
You can't include anything that's got a fly keyword, I believe.
Take a tank into a.
But I don't know. I thought it was just troops because the ideas are in this Hulk space. But excuse me, this is specifically kill zone. This stuff.
Well, I quite like the they've got the pod things with a skeleton in it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I quite like the look of the. I don't know what they're supposed to be. There's a blue, a red, and a grey one. They look like, I don't know if they're supposed to be barricades or what, but they look like little drop pods to me. I wouldn't mind having just
Yeah.
a couple
Are they
of
the
them.
escape pods that because again I saw someone saying about an escape pod. Wonder if they're
Oh,
escape pods.
maybe. Yeah, they do look like escape pods. Actually, you're right.
Doesn't happen very often. But some of this terrain looks like it's like a doctor's surgery, so that's quite cool. I might get that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's got the apothecary table with the little symbol and everything. It's cool.
Yeah, it's got what looks like a little monitor and a
So I was
ventilator
gonna
in
say it's got a little ventilator in. Yeah.
it. Yeah, good if COVID ever takes on takes hits 40K.
COVID on the the killer curse, isn't it? Is it called the killer curse that Abaddon's apparently released? That's basically COVID, isn't it?
Speaking of which, I've got him.
I'm just gonna have a little cough 1 second.
Not painted yet, but
already.
pardon?
You've built Abaddon already.
Yeah, I've built him, but I haven't. I've based him, base sprayed him, and then kind of left it at that for now because I need to. I've painted up my chaos cultists, which I'm quite pleased with.
Yeah, they look good. They do, dude. They look really good.
They have come out nicely. I'm quite pleased with them. And then I've got the Legionaries. I've got 3 of them finished, and I've got all the other 7 have got the gold trim done. So they just need the edge highlighting with the blue on it, and the cloaks doing and everything. So desperately trying to get through so that I've got a 500-point army to bring in a battle report soon.
Very good.
And then I've got a Baden. So once I've got everything sort of painted and worked out my color schemes and my style, he's gonna get it.
And anyone wanting to keep up with your current painting can find you where, Chris?
Oh, they can find me in my garage. No, on Instagram, I tend to post bits and pieces. I like to do my work in progress pictures and stuff like that. And that's on CBW_Chris.
Very good. Yeah, I like to see people's work in progress. Because you always see the end product and think, bloody hell, how's he done that? And it's just nice. That's why I sent that picture to you guys the other day, just of my Dark Angels hooded helmets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciated that.
Really derpy at the minute.
Yeah.
I've still not tidied them up, because I'm not a neat painter, but what I do is I just put in loads and loads of effort into just tidying up the mistakes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always like to see people's sort of base painted stage before it goes on to the shader, because that's, I don't know, for me that's the most demoralizing bit. You're spending so long doing it and it doesn't actually look that good at that point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you're right. You're right with the shader. It definitely gives you that push, doesn't it? Because it takes it from I'm not sure if this is working to okay, this is coming together now, kind of thing.
Absolutely. I kind of torture myself and do, what do they call it, delayed gratification. So I just try and put it off as long as possible so I can get the base painting as neat as possible. Because if it looks, well, my theory is if it looks good without the shader, then it's going to look good with it.
Yeah, it's going to look even better.
I normally get to a point where I look at the model and I'm like, oh, I hate this. It looks awful. It looks awful. It looks terrible. And then I just like persevere with it. And then, like you said, when you have the shader on and then when you start clearing it up and doing some highlights, yeah, it soon comes together. It looks awesome. We're still working on my champion.
Sorry. Oh yeah. You introduced me to the concept of coming back to it the next day, and that really does help.
Yeah.
You spend so long, so close to it, and you think, "Oh, this is rubbish," and then the next day you come to it and you're not looking at it as, as intensely, and suddenly, it didn't look too bad.
Yeah, I quite often, like if I've been painting the night before I go to work, I'll quickly make a point of going into the conservatory, having a look in the daytime sun, light, and then going, oh, that's amazing.
That cold light of day.
Yep. Yeah, I'm looking forward to 10th edition. Lots of new rules are surfacing through Games Workshop. Lots of terrain rules are coming out, and they've made it. They scrapped a lot of the terrain rule features, and it's
Yeah, I was reading that they've really simplified it down, haven't they? To like light cover is this, it's this. You've got to be within this much. It's just really they've tried to make it a lot more clear about what classes as being in cover, and it's not stackable. Because they're going to bring in a rule, aren't they, where it's if you basically your save and throw can't go below 3.
yeah, something like
So if you've got a saving throw of 3, you don't get the benefit, and then you're against something with no armor piercing, then you don't get the benefit of cover because your saving throw go to a 2, and they're not going to allow that. But if you're against something with armor piercing of 1, it would drop it down to 0, so you'd stay at 3. Is my understanding.
something like that.
Yeah. So basically, your saving throw, no one's saving throw is going to be better than the 3 with with the buff of it and the benefits.
Interesting.
Yeah, which makes helps because like going against Joe's
the snipers with the cloak.
yeah, the snipers and he's got a cloak and he's in cover and there's a saving throw of 1 and you're like, great. So
yeah, well, I'm struggling to keep up with these rules at the minute. I don't know about you guys. They keep drip feeding them, which is great because people are digesting them and putting them on YouTube videos for us to interpret.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's still a lot, especially when you're trying to keep up with your day-to-day life.
Yeah, I think there's a certain chapter master that seems to be doing almost hourly videos with updates.
Yeah, I was watching one of those videos just before we started actually, about look, because there's loads of new lore that's coming out, like with the Tyranids and the Ultramarines. Well, there's not new; they're just rediscussing the old stuff, but there is some new lore coming out with the Dark Angels, the Ultramarines, and the Tyranids or something like that. And yeah, it's just it's too much for. I can't keep up with it if I'm honest.
I'm hoping, I don't know if it's already happened, but I'm hoping that because with Indomitus they did inevitably a audiobook came out of the Indomitus story.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that with 10th whatever box set they do drop, they're gonna drop it with a Black Library story to go with it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
I'm hoping they do an audiobook version of The Lion, Son of the Forest.
That'd be cool.
If I'm sitting down using my eyes to do anything, it's to paint, and then my ears can do the listening to the story.
Yeah, definitely. I do quite a bit of driving with my job, so putting an audiobook on and listening while driving is quite good.
Oh, I'd be falling asleep at that point. But yeah, looking forward to it. There is a lot to take on board.
Yeah, I think it's going to be.
But when I'm on the old YouTubes, I go through periods where there's lots of good stuff to watch, and then suddenly, I don't know whether it's YouTube just stops recommending good stuff, and it's like playing games with me. But sometimes there's just no one's posting anything, and you kind of get used to this level of content. So at the minute, there's too much to watch. So I'm frantically whacking it in my watch later list for the dry months.
Yeah. Although I do find when there's nothing good to watch, it's always good to type into YouTube command battle win and rewatch some of the golden holders, the highlights.
I was watching our last battle report actually. I think it was yesterday. Just put it on in the background. Made me laugh.
I have to say, your intro video on our latest battle report is actually the best intro video we've had yet.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I really like what you did with like dropping the colour off and then lifting it up.
Yeah. All intentional. No, it was. It generally was intentional.
It looked awesome.
I have to say your little shameless plug on that Necron forum was pretty good. It boosted our views.
It did.
So thank you for them.
We may or may not have got a little sarcastic comment on there. I'm not sure.
Oh,
with some of those comments, you can't always tell, can you? But on the whole, it seems to have worked quite well. People are responsive.
Good. What was the sarcastic comment? I'm intrigued.
Something because it's on the competitive Necrons page.
Oh yeah.
and it was a comment that said something like, "Oh yeah, it's very competitive, 500 points or something like that."
Oh yeah. The competitive is like, I'm pretty sure people consider like 2,000 points as competitive.
Yeah, and I think it's a page that's predominantly for people that are in tournaments and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and then and then you just get little old me going, "Hey guys, there's a really good battle report to watch. Here it is."
Aren't you part of a Warhammer for Dads group on Facebook?
I've come off that one.
Oh, I was going to say that would be ideal candidate to post.
It would have been because obviously, but yeah, it was not that it was not a group that I enjoyed in the end. I thought it would be a bit more light-hearted, but it was quite intense, shall we
Oh,
say.
okay.
Is it 'cause they're all really tired?
Well, that's how I thought it was going to go. So I thought, because there were a few funny comments of people being like, "Oh yeah, planning on doing some painting tonight. What's the joke? You know, what's the chances I'm just going to fall asleep on the sofa?" Which has happened to me many times.
Yeah. Same.
But then yeah, it was a bit more heavier and a bit more intense than I was expecting, and I just ended up coming off it. So yeah.
Mm.
But that happens. I've joined a few pages and then ended up leaving them because then the posts aren't as interesting as you hope or whatever. And then you find a group that you quite enjoy and you stay on theirs, and you know.
Yeah, I was gonna post on the ultramarine. There's one on Facebook that I'm a part of, but it basically, it says if you shamelessly plug yourself, essentially, then they'll just ban you. I was like, okay,
And
I
there's
won't bother
definitely no
then.
way that you could go, "Hey guys,
Yeah.
I've just watched this channel."
Yeah,
Don't know if you've heard of them.
I thought about it, but yeah, I'm on Reddit. I posted onto Reddit, but it got absolutely no attention at all. Like,
Which is
people.
interesting because you've posted to Reddit before. Do you remember in the early days? And we had loads come over to comment
So
on it. Do you
no,
remember?
that was 9gag. That was when I posted
Oh,
onto
was it
9gag.
9gag?
Reddit has this unwritten rule. I think that people of Reddit don't like things that are basically self-exploited. So I think that's right. So if you're posting about something you've created, nobody likes it. I've
Right.
noticed before. But if somebody
They're too,
else
they're too
posts
cool.
you, yeah, I think that's what it
Yeah.
is. But if like I was to post, say, a video of Winters or a video of somebody else, Narrative Crusade, they're the only two channels I can think of at the moment.
Yeah.
Then and ask about some, then people tend to interact. But if I go, hey guys, look, I filmed this with my friends and it's really good, and you should subscribe or watch it.
Yeah,
And
but would they know if you were posting saying, "Hi guys, I've just seen this channel. They were on Winters, and then I've looked at their channel. It's really good. We should support them."
I mean,
Are they gonna Are they gonna know that it's you?
my logo on Reddit is the same logo as everywhere else. It's the new Command Battlewind logo that somebody may have
Because you're a
noticed.
super fan.
Some people may have noticed that Commander Azra has made us a very nice, lots of sexy things for logos and also YouTube's and Instagram. That's the one.
Well, bit of a rebrand now that we've blown up.
Well,
Yeah.
Seeing our
we're
friend
celebrities
Winters.
now.
Blown up and blown off.
Exactly.
We are currently at this video at 610 subscribers.
So we
That's-
have doubled since
Yeah,
3 winters, haven't we?
Yeah,
271 we're starting at, so we've done it.
yeah. Well, I wouldn't say we've done it, Chris, but we're getting there.
Well, we doubled. We doubled.
We're doubled, yeah.
That's done it.
And it's
Job done.
we're getting at least one a day for the past week. I've noticed it's slowly creeping up.
So a gentle drift up is absolutely fine by me.
Absolutely. Our
And
videos
then
have got a trickle of views as well, which is interesting.
good. Don't know how the podcast is doing, but whether people are actually listening to us, but we've
I don't know about the podcast on Spotify, but on here we've got a very small handful of views, but nobody ever comments, so we don't know if anybody's actually listening to it or not.
so if you've got to this point, do you want to just pop a little comment in and let us know?
Let's just say still here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, still here.
Still listening to you guys drone on, but it's mainly because I'm driving and I can't I can't take my hands off the steering wheel to change over.
Oh, that sounds like a voice of experience.
Oh yeah.
Interestingly,
But
we've got. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, but we didn't do one last week, did we? Because we were busy filming a war.
We did. I
Although it
haven't.
wasn't orcs.
It was.
Was it?
It was Orcs versus Necrons, wasn't it?
It
I
was indeed. Yes,
I
remember
filmed
now.
it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we were filming a war.
We say we. I haven't done anything with it yet because I don't have an adapter thing. I need to go and buy one. I was going to buy one off Amazon, but they're all rubbish.
Oh, we can. I can drop one off to you.
Okay. Just if you're in the area next.
Yeah. Good. We've also got an unveiling video to do for GameMats.eu.
Oh yes, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so we've got because we've been sent a mat from them to try out, which is quite good. It's a green
Spoiler. Spoilers.
spoiler
Come on.
alert.
If you want to look, you need to click the video.
Well, if you wanted to see, there is a short. It's a little bit jumpy, but there's a short that features it already.
That is true. Yes. So we've got that video. We've also got another video for March of War that I need to film, but I'm waiting for my voice to come back because it's not fully back yet from my illness. And Papa Nurgle.
Papa Nurgle.
And then I also need to. I really could have been using this time to paint it up. I've been a bit sidetracked the last few days, if I'm honest. I've not done anything Warhammer related at all.
No, that's okay though, because there's no point forcing it. If you have a spell where you're not fancying painting, don't paint.
That's true.
Unless you got an upcoming battle report to do, in which case start painting.
Yes, yeah. I'm annoyed at myself because I thought I would have like most people would have thought I would have painted a little bit more than I wanted. Thought, you know what I mean? I kind of hoped I'd paint a bit more than I had.
Oh well.
I think that's just everyone that collects
Yeah.
Warhammer.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at it, you think you're like, that's not that hard to paint. It won't take me long, and then 4 weeks later, you're still assembling it.
Plastic crack doesn't form itself.
That's it.
Yeah, well, I plan to have Asriel and the Bladeguard veterans done before I got my Lion model, and I would have had it a week by now if I'd actually managed to get one. So I'm well behind.
Any word on when the Lion's going to be available again?
No, but interestingly, I checked the website today, and the Asriel model sold out at the same time, but that's back up for sale now. So I don't know what they're doing.
Very strange.
Very
strange. I find it weird that they only like with the dark. You would have thought that they would have released more Dark Angels-y stuff to increase the hype a little bit. They seem to have just left the Dark Angel. Yeah. They just seem to have just left the Dark Angels a little bit. I think.
What you think they've gone? All right, here's Asriel. Oh, here's the Lion. See ya.
Yeah. Because I mean, that YouTuber that releases the videos every 5 minutes that lives up north that we're talking about, he was saying that the Dark Angels are supposed to have a range refresh. That's what he had heard on the Whisper. So you would have thought that the Lion would have been the last thing to be released, and they would have released other stuff first, if that is true.
Yeah. Although, now that you mention it, just thinking on the spot, if I was GW, I'd drum up a load of hype by releasing the Primarch. Then everyone buys him and then thinks, oh, well, I've got the Primarch, I might as well buy the new models.
That's true.
Or, just thinking a bit more on the spot, you buy the Primarch, you buy the old models, and then a month later they release all the new ones. You're like, well, best buy those now. Far in to turn back. That's basically how we get caught.
Let's say that sounds more like Games Workshop.
Yeah. And going full circle back to that box set, what was it called? The one with Vashdor in it.
The Wrath of the Soul Forge King.
With the Dwarf Terminators.
Yeah, that was a weird decision.
Are they the Dwarf Terminators?
Yeah, they're the Dark Angel specific Dwarf Terminators. So, yeah.
That's annoying.
Maybe they're just trying to sell old stock.
Maybe. Looks like we've just stumbled across Games Workshop's strategic plan. I imagine tomorrow we'll get a cease and desist gag order.
I was going to say it's not. I mean, it's a very transparent sort of plan that they're doing. It's pretty damn obvious.
Maybe they've gone with it's so obvious. People are like, nah, that can't be what they're doing. It's just too obvious. It's too right there.
I think it's so obvious, but it still works because we're all just so hopelessly addicted.
Yeah.
I mean, we really are. I mean, I get shouted at by my wife for buying too much, and I'm like, hey, I'm done. I'm not going to buy any more while scrolling through eBay and websites. Thinking, oh, that'll do nicely.
I mean,
how do I get this pasta?
To be fair, I thought the exact same thing. So until the new models for Space Marines have come out, I was thinking for the Ultramarines, I've got literally everything that I want, and yet here I am physically looking at Captain Uriel Ventris, thinking I don't own him, and then looking at the Primaris Chaplain that I don't have, thinking he'd be a really good proxy to Kitbash to make the Chaplain that's limited to the Ultramarines from the first company. That I really want to make some veteran, some tyrannic Vanguard guys. I'm just lying to myself.
Abuse continues.
Yeah, that's creativity though. The main thing that surprises me there isn't Uriel Ventress the one with the big pudgy baby face.
Yeah, but I would rip his head off and put a helmet on. The thing that really puts me off him, the reason why I've not bought up to now, is the fact that his shoes are so square, and I don't know why I don't like it. His feet look really square.
That's so funny.
Did you ever watch The Witches?
I've watched The Witcher.
No, The Witches. Is it a Roald Dahl one?
Oh yes, I have. Yes, I have. Yeah.
The witches in that have square feet because their toes have been chopped off, or they don't have toes. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a childhood trauma coming at you.
Probably. I remember seeing it when they revealed it, and I was like, "The hell, his feet look stupid. What's that all about?" Interesting. I can't.
What repulsed you more, the square feet or the t-shirt cannons?
Oh, good question. Probably the t-shirt cannons. I don't like the t-shirt cannons at all.
I mean, you managed to keep your opinions to yourself. I noticed that you were very, very silent on a community Facebook page that you like to troll regularly. In fact, I think you've managed to draw them in a couple of times.
Yes, a couple of times. A couple of times Games Workshop have replied to me. Yes, they have, yeah.
And it is all just 100% Joseph trolling.
Don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying to find out the name of the Ultramarine Chaplain model because he's disappeared off Games Workshop. So they must have pulled him off. Captain Cassius. Chaplain Cassius.
There's a rumour that there's going to be a Terminator Chaplain coming out soon as well.
So there's already a Terminator Chaplain that was a event special a couple of years ago, if you remember.
I do, yeah, and he was pretty awesome actually.
He was cool. So hopefully they'll just re-release him.
Yeah, he was one of the only ones where it didn't look like his arm was coming out of his head, like the Mr. Men.
Yeah. I saw a post the other day that with the new Terminator models, it's like, what do they look like if you were to lower? Obviously, they've done it with like photoshopped it, lowered the arms down slightly, and it still looks much better, but they look much better than the original smaller versions.
Yeah, well, I'm just happy that the new ones have come out.
Yeah, me too.
As a Dark Angel player, I don't know whether to buy them straight away or just wait for the. I don't know how they'll play it, whether they'll do Dark Angel specific ones again or just do upgrade sprues for Terminators.
I do wonder because they haven't really released that many upgrade sprues at all, have they?
No,
just the bog standard ones from was that 8th edition?
Yeah, just the little half sprue size ones. I think it's probably because they still sell the Dwarf Marine stuff, and the heads are the same size.
Yeah.
So maybe they just think, oh, buy the old stuff if you want a kit bash.
To be fair though, I mean it would make more money, wouldn't it?
Sell it,
Yeah. like what, 36 pound, £38 for a set of Terminators, and then £38 for the specific army Terminators, because you can use the arms on them, can't you? The arms and the heads.
Yeah, that's what I did to try and kit bash some full-size Deathwing Knights. So I got those Cromlech resin bodies, stuck the arms on, thought, oh, these will be good. And then I completely just put that on hold because of the new Terminators. It's good to have an excuse to put some of the painting projects on hold, I must say.
Definitely. I was just having a look at how I could get Cassius, the chaplain, from the games, and the only way you could do it is by buying the £42 Kill Team Cassius. So I do wonder if that Kill Team box is new, because the model is no longer on the Games Workshop page.
No idea.
Strange. I'd like to have a chaplain on a motorbike. That's kind of what I'd like to do.
Oh yes, we said this last time. You wanted Christ on a bike.
Christ on a bike. Christ on a bike. Are they had it in the local Games Workshop shop? Oh, there it is. Oh, hang on. Did they just have?
I can't believe that chaplain's like nearly 3 years old already.
I know. Temporarily out of stock on that. Yeah, £32.50. I think is a bit much for him, if I'm honest. For the one model, consider the Outriders. I think are about £30.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, £37.50.
That is a lot.
It is for 3 little plastic men.
Oh, I thought, well, the chaplain, like, I'd rather buy a dreadnought, thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think they will make a Hellbrute bigger? Do they'll re-release one?
They definitely will at some point, but I don't know when.
Although I think I upset Winters by saying we called it Baby Brute because
well,
they're so small.
I mean, Winter's point was the fact that it's not a Baby Brute because the size of the original dreadnoughts, it's the same size. So I reckon we would probably end up seeing a Redemptor version, so a Primaris version, and it'll be a new model. But I suspect you'll probably not get as much. Oh no, you don't get that much on it. You might get more on it then. But I reckon you won't see it until probably next edition. Or
right,
the end,
like
or the end
with everything now, everything that we don't, anything that crops up that you go, oh, I don't really like this about Ninth, where it is now just a standard thing, isn't it? Well, hopefully they'll fix it in 10th.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what we said about Ninth.
Yeah.
The cycle continues.
Yeah.
Although I suspect that the transition won't be as easy going from 9th to 10th as it was 8th to 9th.
I think we'll be playing it and be like, this is very similar to 8th.
Do you reckon?
I heard that a lot of the rules they're going back to are actually 7th.
Yeah, I heard that pre 7th.
Yeah,
like the squad.
Complicated, but some of the stuff is 7th.
Yeah, the squad joining. Sorry, the HQ joining the squad is pre 7th, isn't it?
Yes.
And then obviously, like we said, I think we said on the last time about like the psychic phase being merged into the shooting phase.
Yeah, still not sure how I feel about that.
I kind of like it, but I kind of feel like we're losing out a little bit.
I think what'll happen is after about 3 months of playing, we'll have forgotten completely what 9th was like.
Yeah.
And we'll just be happy with what we're playing, and once we've got used to it, and we'll be like, I can't believe we ever played it any different.
To be fair, Chris, after 3 days in between playing games, I've forgotten what 9th is like.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that they don't try and milk us, and they're going to, for like all of the data sheets and the and like the terrain data sheet. Because, I mean, imagine if you went out and you bought the data cards for all of the terrain, because there was 2 sets, wasn't there? Or 3 sets of data cards for terrain that was released, and then the core rule books, and then your armies, and then your codexes, and then 10th edition comes along and it's got rid of most of all of that. I'd be
I'd
annoyed.
say yeah. I think because I've noticed like when looking on the Games Workshop website models, the codexes and data cards, they're obviously still selling them
Yeah,
for night currently. But I personally, I think they need to have sort of a banner on there with a warning that says, these will no longer be valid in X amount, because we're talking like two months away.
yeah.
And imagine if you get someone who's new to the hobby that goes and orders it all, and then they order the codex and they don't realize 10th is about to come out.
They rack up at their local gaming shop one day with the 9th edition in hand, all of the codexes, all of the rules, and then everybody's got a new book, different book.
Well, that actually happened to me when I was a teenager.
Well,
It's basically what got me to give up on, like,
life.
to leave the hobby. Was
Give up on
because
life.
I started to learn how to play the fantasy Warhammer game, and I kept being told, "Oh, you need to buy the rule book. You need to buy the rule book." And I finally bought the codex for the army at the start of the summer holidays, and I remember sort of just towards the end of the summer holidays, so about a 6-week period, they were like, "Oh, they've just released the new one. You need to buy the new one." I'd spent all my pocket money buying the old one, and I got really annoyed because I was like, they would have known that when they sold it me,
Yeah.
and sort of kept pressuring me to actually buy it. That I was like, "Oh, that's it. I'm not doing it anymore," and sort of left the hobby.
Threw everything in the air and stormed out like a little diva you were.
And I'm still a diva now.
Single tear rolling down your cheek. I didn't want to play it anyway.
To be fair, Chris, in 8th edition, I ended up accidentally buying the 7th edition codex on eBay because it was cheaper.
Ooh,
Didn't
yeah,
realise that because it had a different cover, it was different rules.
yeah,
So very easy mistake to make, even if
yeah.
GW aren't, coming up with a new codex in a couple of weeks.
I was say, look what I did with the Tyranids. I bought the rules and the cards and all of the models, and then they announced that the next edition was being released a few months later, and then I didn't play them or build them for a
Yeah.
year.
It's tricky, isn't it? I suppose because yeah, I don't know. I've seen it on a page, one of the Facebook pages. Yeah, I remember seeing a post where someone said, "Oh, I've just bought this. I've got the codex arriving," and everyone's commenting going, "Cancel the order for the codex. Cancel.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't get it now."
Maybe that's a question for the listeners. How many codexes have you bought and never played a game with them?
Yeah.
For my answer on that is 2. The 8th edition Orc Codex, because I never painted any until 9th, and that Dark Angels one.
I've got, if I can't get my ducks if I can't get myself sorted with Chaos Space Marines, then I'll be on 1 with Chaos Space Marines. Although I got that knowing that the time was limited.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd have painted my models a bit quicker by now, so I could be playing.
The more I think about it, the more the subscription to the Warhammer app is a better option.
Yeah.
Damn it, they've got us.
Well, just wait until these cards come out. I'm looking forward to seeing these data sheets that you can buy individually. That presumably will be just nice little printed out bits of card.
Yeah.
As long as they don't then bring out updates that then make them null and void.
I guess the whole point of that is if they do update the data sheets, then replacing one of them isn't going to kill you.
I think what they'll do is you can only get them via the app, and you have to subscribe to the app, and then as the update, you just reprint them off. Or you'll get PDF versions of them.
Well,
Yeah, with the
too
updates.
superficial. I like the printed card ones that are all glossy.
Yeah.
The 9th edition starter sets.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, good. The thing, I mean, I normally use my tablet with Battle Scribe on it, but the problem is once the model dies, it's stuck in your little list still. You
Yeah,
can't get rid of them.
you almost need like a little tabs on the side so you can just click really rather than trying to scroll through
Yeah,
pages and pages. Just a tab on the side that you can hit. Right. Yep.
yeah,
But maybe we won't need to do that as much in 10th because if it's all simplified down, maybe there won't be as much. Oh, I'll sort of flitting between bits.
yeah. Have they said anything about the app for 10th edition? Have they mentioned whether they're going to improve it or build? There's an army builder coming for it, isn't there? Or have they done that now?
They've done an army builder already. It's a bit clunky. I definitely prefer Battle Scribe. I do, again, superficially like the Warhammer data sheets. They look better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the interface is nice because it has like little pictures of the models, so you know which ones you're selecting.
Yeah.
Battle Scribe can be you need to know what you're doing with Battle Scribe before you can do stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
I find Battle Scribe works if you've actually physically got the codex in front of you to look bits up and I mean, like I tend to find Battle Scribe alone isn't enough for me. Like I need to be able to go back and reference bits. So I tend to look at the data sheet of the codex and then select it on Battle Scribe. Have I just revealed that I'm one of those people that don't know what I'm doing?
A little bit. I mean, I don't, but
No, I'm the same, but I'll use Warhampedia because it's just easier to find it.
And I do like that Warpedia will give you at the bottom of the thing all the stratagems that you can use
yeah,
for
I
that
like
unit.
that. Yeah,
That's a nice touch.
Just something as simple as the difference between the Codex and Warhampedia is they tell you the points.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're getting rid of the power level. That was just silly.
yeah, it's a bit silly.
Yeah, it didn't really make much sense, the power level. But
Do you think that Battle Scribe will get updated and we can upload our own pictures of our models to Battle Scribe? I mean, I'm not holding my breath.
I don't know. I was wondering if Games Workshop had done a bit of strategic releasing free data sheets to try and eradicate them.
Possibly.
What they should have done from day one. I mean, the only reason we've got Battle Scribe and Warhampedia is because GW were greedy in the first place.
Yeah.
And the people rebelled.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think we've
We've reached the natural end.
yeah, we're at 47 minutes.
That's a good time to end it, I'd say.
So if there's anything else you want to get out your systems, get it out right now.
Nope.
I'll save some for next week.
Right. Well, thank you very much for listening. And if you got this far, give yourself a CBW pat on the back, and let us know in the comments and whatnot. So let us know if you like the new branding and new logos and things like that. And special thank you to Azza there.
Yeah, thank you.
Pleasure.
So remember to like, subscribe, tell your mums, and move the troops.
Move the troops.
Move them troops.